what is the financial capacity of these owners that owns this club that can meet up the 2 million naira salary for the players?
If a player is dragging a club to court, they can be aware that yes, this has been placed in the law that okay, you must pay us not less than 2 million naira.
Welcome back to EVO Sports. The breaking news we are hearing this morning is that the NSC and the NFF has partnered and have partnership collaboration. They have increased Nigerian League prize money to 1 billion naira. Man, this is a huge development. It's approximately 15 million rands, which is, we are almost there like the PSL, you know. What I mean by NSC is National Sports Commission and the Nigerian Football Federation. I have with me here in the studio, as usual, Albert Israel, the Big Sense. Albert, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Very good development. Chima Samuel, Chief Special, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Another big development. Yeah. That means Nigerian League, will be compared to PSL now. Is that what it means? Okay, I'm starting with you, Albert.
Yeah, it's a groundbreaking, it's a landmark event. It's a quantum leap. It's a very nice one, you understand. Nigerian Shippers Council is an institution. The Nigerian Football Professional League is an institution on their own, but the both of them are decided to merge together to ensure that the Nigerian Football Professional League...
Is this or National Sports
National Sports Commission,
okay,
yes,
okay.
It's an institution on their own. The Nigerian Football Professional League is an institution of their own, and they have their own regulations and limitations, understand? So for the both of them to have come together to ensure that Nigerian League sees, you understand, the light, because for a while, for a very long period, Nigerian League has actually been in the dark. So it's a very, very nice one. But I'm actually glad the route they want to take to achieve that. I think one of the three routes they want to use in achieve that is a government and corporate partnership, right? Then another aspect again is for them to commercialize the league, and another aspect again is the broadcasting right, you understand, and bringing back television viewership, which is very, very important. I think this is going to go a very, very long way in bringing back Nigerian League to that height it's supposed to be. But I have one or two highlights actually drilled down in this regard. You know, one of the things they spoke about when they met together and they discussed, and they came out with a framework of increasing the Nigerian Football Professional League prize money to 1 billion naira, first runner up 500 million naira, and second runner up 300 million. Approximately everything is running to about 1.8 billion. And sometimes I want to think, where are the brands, the sponsors? How do you want to generate this? But they have actually articulated it in their maybe MOU, memorandum of understanding, that they're going to commercialize it and bring in that TV viewership and all of that. But on that question you're going to ask, people are in oblivion of watching the Nigerian League. For a very long time, people don't watch it because it's not on screen. So what are they going to do to ensure that they bring people back, bring people trust back watching the Nigerian Football Professional League? But I thought that one or two things they discussed there was players' welfare. They said the minimum of a player, a footballer money salary there is going to be 2 million naira. Now I want to ask, how much is minimum wage in Nigeria? Now if you say a player is going to have 2 million naira at minimum, his salary, so to speak.
How will you generate this
money?
Now,
how will you generate this money? Now, there are other clubs that just came back to the Premiership. You understand? Just came back to the Premiership, like the Ranchers Bees and the one or two, three other clubs like that. They came back to the Nigerian Football Professional League. How do they want to play? Is it a state-owned sponsored team? Yeah. Is it a private-owned sponsored team? How do they want to pay this player 2 million naira
on monthly basis?
That is the salary. That is the salary structure now. That is what NSC and the MPFL has actually spoken about. Okay. Now, if you say 2 million naira now, it is not actually dissected if it is going to be per year or per month, but we know that footballer salary is being paid weekly and meshed together the weekly, and it's going to be by monthly. So we're looking at, because we want to promote the league, we want to make their welfare be something worth of, because in the course of discussing that welfare, they say they want to make footballers' life to be very reasonable even after retirement. Not because one of the reasons for this is for you to play football in Nigeria, retire in Nigeria, and still have a good life that you live in, you understand, after retirement. So how do they want to generate such money? State-owned? Is it a state-owned club? Is it a private-owned club? How much is the state actually going to in a fiscal year disburse for the payment of player salary. We're looking at players and coaching staff and all of that, which is running to about 35 of them. If players are about 26 or 20, or perhaps some clubs sign 30 players, listen, because if injury set in, some of them have continental, the league to play, cups and all of that, other engagement. So 2 million naira. That is a question mark again. How do they want to achieve it? Another thing again is a strict club licensing. They spoke about club licensing. Stakeholders agreed that club will no longer just meet a minimum standard and all of that. See, when we talk about licensing sometimes in a club, I think there are some things that are listed here that they actually need to take step by step, one step before another. If you actually want to achieve this, you can't achieve this in a single season, because Nigerian league has actually been in a quagmire for a very long period of time. So you can't achieve everything just in one season. You can bring a framework, achieve some certain things. Then when those things start getting fruition of the required landmark, the required stride you actually wanted, then you improve in the next season, because there's no league in the whole of Africa, in the whole of the world that actually started one day and achieved it one day. Are you getting it? It must move sequentially till you get to the... As a matter of fact, some leagues today, the top 5 leagues in the world, they are not even yet in their permanent site. They are still improving year in, year out and all of that. So another thing again is the new competitors that came into the league again is Inter Lagos, Ranchers Beast of Kaduna. I was a very small boy when I watched Ranchers Beast. People like Rashid Yekini were very small boy. Yes. Sporting Lagos and Doma United. It's been very long. Doma United has faced out for like 15 to 17 years. I've not heard about Doma United. Now, this club that are coming in now from the lower tier to the upper tier, you expect them to have 2 million naira to play, because anything that has to do with the footballer, I'm very, very curious about players' welfare, because players' welfare is very, very important. You know what I'm trying to say? So the Doma United, the Ranchers Beast, Inter Lagos, who owns this team? Is it a state-owned team or a privately owned team? And don't forget, back then, before now, that's why I like tracing back to history. While we were playing the amateur, before we played in the pro, in our era, we saw that so many club owners, let me not mention them, when they qualified to the Nigerian Pro League, they sell out their space. Why do they sell out their space? Because they just want to cash in on what they have actually spent over a period of a season. Players, their food, their welfare, transport, logistics, and all of that, to ensure that, yes, they don't go at a ground. Some of them as well sell their players abroad and all of that to meet up one or two financial demands. So if all these teams are coming in, the question is, who are the owners of the club? Are they government owned or privately sponsored? Then what is the financial capacity of these owners that owns this club that can meet up the 2 million naira salary for the players? It's another question mark. So, but I yield the floor now till when you ask me again on that question.
Chima, initially, Nigeria MPFL, their prize money used to be 200 million before they increased it to this 1 billion, trying to bring back life from Moribond. Do you think that that's a very good development?
Yes, it's a very good development. I have to say congratulations to the MPFL League and Benga, I think his name is Benga Elegbe Yelewe or something like that, Honorable Benga. I think he has really worked so hard, to get to this point. And increasing approving a 1 billion naira prize money is a very good one. Before on the list in top 10 best leagues in Africa according to prize money, I think Nigeria used to be on number 7 or 6 or 8 or thereabout, with $100,000, which is about 200 million naira, But now, if you have to read out the top 10 leagues now, we have Ghana number 10 at $100,000. We have Kenya number 9 at $115,000. We have number 8 Cameroon at $177,000. We have number 7 Ethiopian League $200,000. While we have number 6 Tanzanian League at $250,000. While we have number 5 Tunisian League $300,000. While we have number 4 Moroccan League $603,000 according to exchange rate as at now. Then now Nigeria is in number 3 with $730,000. That is over a billion. That is 1 billion naira. Mm-hmm. Then number 2 is Egyptian League. Prize money now is about $1 million. While the South African PSL League is about $1.2 million. So now, at least with this latest development now, we are placed on number 3 in Africa. Yes, I've been agitating for this because first of all, we have to start somewhere. And starting from somewhere, increasing the money to this 1 billion, if the money is going to be paid to this club side, I think it's a very good development. And that is why, for now, in Nigeria, it will be very difficult to say you want to leave government out of football, because right now we do not have the ability to run our football without government intervention. We do not have the ability to run our football alone without getting involved with government. Because right now, where is the NSC getting the money from? Where is the MPFL getting the money from? Of course, there is no concrete sponsorship right now. So that means indirectly this money will still come from government. Indirectly, this money will still come from the money allocated to the sport, to the NLC, to the NSC, and then to the NFF and the rest. So definitely it's a very good one. Club side now can also see that they are working towards 1 billion naira. If you like, as the season is starting now, if you are signing players, whatsoever thing you are doing, definitely you know that when I win this MPFL League title, just like the way Rangers of Enugu won last season. So if I get 1 billion naira, if I get about $730,000 or more, that means if I plus and minus with all my expenses, all the transportation, logistic, player salary, in one way or the other, there should be profit aside from your personal sponsors, apart from your gate fees and the rest. So it's a very good one from that perspective. But now again, there's another addition, because towards the beginning of the season, there's a money that will be allocated to the team, all the clubs, which is about 32.5 million naira per team for the whole season. Another 10 million naira, but the 10 million naira will be given to the team, before they even kick a ball. That is just for expenses, for being in the league. So definitely for the whole season, the money about 42.5 million naira will be given to each team in the Nigerian league, to run their league. Just like the PSL league usually give about 2.5 million rands per month to their club side. So, but this one is not coming per month, but it's going to be like a yearly something aside from the money you earn from the league. So definitely it's a very good one. So at least for the 2.5 million naira going to each team now, coming to the league, at least you start out from somewhere. I've been crying out loud, for sponsors, for big men, for rich men, all these wealthy men in Africa, in Nigeria, to come up and say, to come and help Nigerian football, because if these guys come in to come and assist Nigerian football, it's going to be far, far better. Now, if you check about the viewership, yes, about me mention about the TV right and the rest, we have been having a whole lot of challenges about that TV right. We'll be having a whole lot of challenges. In fact, the last time we had a contract was with Star Times, and Star Times have to terminate the contract because of they were not making any profit. But right now, before the season ended last season, sometimes I come across Nigerian League football on Afia TV, and that Afia TV is so alarming, so ashamed. I feel so ashamed of myself, being in Nigeria, trying to watch our Nigerian League football on television, but I could only see to watch either through the app, MPFL app, or through Afia TV. This Afia TV might be showing you this man. In fact, you prefer to watch cartoon rather than watching this game on Afia TV, because if you see the screen, if you see the coloring, if you see if in fact the transmission is so poor, very, very poor. The Nigerian against Portugal game, Nigeria against the last friendly games Nigeria played, even before Portugal game, Afia TV covered this game. If you see, yes, I wanted to appreciate them for at least for standing up to cover it, but I feel so ashamed to be. I feel so ashamed most times. When I see the football match, the national team is playing a game against a team like Portugal that we have Cristiano Ronaldo in, and then we played against Poland. I swear to you, in Poland, with good stadium, good facility, everything. We could not watch that game on a very, very good television station in Nigeria. STV, NTA, AIT, nobody could televise this game live from there. It was only Afia TV that televised. And do you know that when they are televising this game, along the line, they can break the transmission. They will go and talk about news, talk about cultural dance, talk about those different things that is not even related to football. Later, after 1 minute or 2 minutes, they will come back to the game. Sometimes you'll be watching the game, you feel like it's better to watch it on your laptop and stream it on YouTube rather than watching.
For the commercials.
That is so shameful. It's so shameful that a whole national team, even if you do not show the league, how about the national team? So people need to be responsible for this. Complaints, sponsors need to come in for this. So it's a very shameful one. But then this news is a very big development for Nigerian football. At least to be on the number 3 on the log now in Africa, at least it will attract clubs that then in terms of the it will attract clubs like getting more better players, paying more salary. Then on the 2 million naira this thing, I saw a 2 million naira minimum. I doubt if it's going to work in Nigeria for now, because some of these clubs are private owned clubs, and then the government owned club. Yes, it can work if they enforce the law, but I still doubt that, because most of the challenges we're having are some of the top men in this club side among the officials, like the chairman and the so-called godfathers in this game. This money can come to them from the government, but then transferring this money to the players, it will become a debate. For NFF or for the NSC to make it mandatory, I think it's a very good one. At least making it mandatory, let everybody know, so that if a player is dragging a club to court, they can be aware that this has been placed in the law, that okay, you must pay us not less than 2 million naira per month. At least let us start off from there. From there we can pick it up again.
Albert, the first runner-up will be getting 500 million naira, and the second runner-up will be getting 300 million naira, even more than the prize money, initial prize money that was 200 million. What do you make of this?
Wonderful step, quantum leap, gallant stride on paperwork, because it's wholesome on the ear. Is it the reality?
No, we don't know yet.
Now, we don't know yet. Now, if it is a reality and that money is disbursed and these players and everybody involved do not get their money, it's not executed. So that is to say, everything we're just hearing is just to put everybody at bay, keep everybody on their toes. But meanwhile, because you can hear these stories, and at the end of the day, come next season, 2026-2027 season, at its end, the players will still be living in abject poverty and penury. So if they come up with this, we love it. Now, if they come up with this, we know that these guys will play football, and you will see a lot of emerging talent. Trust me, if this thing comes to reality, so many players will not actually want to seek abroad just at the age of 17. They want to hone their talent here very well. Yes, even the Principal Cup can even be lighting up again. Because if you're in secondary school, back then, we were actually scouted from the Principal Cup. You get it from Gaskia College to Randu Secondary School. Now, we're scattered in the Principal Cup. Now, yes, St. Finbar's, I'm talking about my own generation. I'm not talking about Hero Suarez. You understand? So, if you know that a Nigerian player playing in Nigerian league is going to earn 2 million naira as salary, in Principal Cup, because you believe if you play very well, you will be scouted. You know, when we were growing up, a lot of teams, Julius Berger, Shooting Stars, many of these teams used to have what we know as feeders team, that you graduate from that team to the main team. So that will as well actually nurture emerging talent that they will play, and from there develop to the MPFL and become what they want to be. Even from the MPFL, they can graduate them to the Super Eagles, under 17, under 20, 23, and Super Eagles. But in all of this, I have one or two arguments in this reality. Kema, if you put on a complete white robe, very beautiful robe, right, and you walk on the street, people say you're looking very lovely, very white robe. Do you believe that a stain, a black stain, just a dot of a black stain can actually make everybody see the mistake in you? Now, how do we want to achieve this? What is the security architecture of the country? Don't forget, 20 teams in Nigerian Football Professional League. One team from the east will be traveling to the west. And no team in Nigeria now, except if I'm proving wrong, has the capacity to fly a plane to match venue and return back. This is a reality. Except I'm proving wrong.
Maybe only Canopilas.
I don't know. I don't know the last time you saw Canopilas fly in the Chiba. Or which year was that?
Those are the three.
I see. I've not seen them in the except maybe they are going for Continental.
No, the last
is because they were on the verge of winning the league. Now money will come out. They were on the verge of winning the league, so money will come out. So what I'm trying to say, security is one important thing that needs to be checked upon. Another thing against is logistics. Chima spoke about 42.3 that will be allocated to them from the government coffers or from the NSC and whichever way they want to do it. Now, logistics, don't forget the cost of, these are realities we are facing here, except if something changes. The price of fuel, the price of diesel in the country. How long will you move these players? And they're going to lodge in an hotel before when they get there. And the least time you can take a player from the west to the north to play a football match, like 2 days to the time, so that they get familiarized with their terrain, do warm-up training and all that, so they can relax their nerves, so they can give the best performance on a match day. We're looking at that. Don't forget, we were in the stadium the last match, Enugu Rangers. Apart from every other matches we've been there, the fans do not make games to go properly because the referee's life are threatened, the linesman's life are threatened, the fourth official's life are threatened. We watched them live there. They were threatened.
And our lives too were threatened.
Our life too were threatened. Now, in the Western world, even in the Algerian league, the South African league and all of that, they even have crowd. The fans come out en masse more than in Nigeria. You see, stewards watching at these fans, anyone that errs, they will be picked and snapped immediately. Do we have those measures? Yeah, we don't have those measures. So I am wondering how we can achieve this, because you can dole out the 1 billion. I hope by God's grace we'll achieve it for the champions, 500 million for first runner-up, 200 million for second runner-up. But that black dot there may not actually make us to actualize it. Where about incident that fans will run into the pitch and slit another person's player's neck and all of that. So what are we putting in place? Moving on the road from one region to another region right here in Nigeria is dangerous and difficult. So how do we want to achieve this? You want to achieve this by sudden flight? It is not possible. But looking at what their capital layout now for the league to become one of the best in Africa, yes, we are in support of it. But at the end of the day, it can be a mirage. You know, sometimes when you are traveling on the road, you see something like water. It's a mirage. It could be a mirage, because if all those things are not put in place, let's not forget only one thing again: the referees officiating our match. How professional are they? How you understand?
They are working on
how resilient are they? See, if you don't put all these things in order, right? And you think you can achieve the 1 billion prize money, the 500 million for runners-up, 300 million naira, and all of that, it could actually be a mirage. But I just hope that they put all modalities in order.
Chima Samuel, third runner-up, second runner-up, 300 million naira, even bigger than the former prize money. So do you think that if all these things being in place, or if all this money being paid, that insecurity, some other stuff will be fixed?
No, they didn't mention about insecurity.
No,
These are just
asking.
money that will be given to the club side. So, and when you mention this amount of money, I think even while you are increasing the money to 1 billion for prize money, second 500 million, 300 million for third, I feel like just like Abba said, we should also have a budget for security, because I feel like security has become one of the biggest challenges, especially in this part of the world, in this part of the country, you know, where we are playing the league here. You know, we should have a very good setup for our players to secure the life of our players, of our fans, of our coaches, of our media house, and then everybody involved with the football, because that will give everybody, you know, good mindset to go to the stadium to watch matches. If places are not secure, just like what is happening in the country now, people will not want to turn out in mass to come and watch match, because they do not know what might happen to them after the game. So, and it's a very big concern. And if proper measures are not put in place for referees, for teams, especially away teams, you know, in a league match, it will not enable referees to officiate at their very best. Because when there is proper security, when there are fines, when there are measures, you know, to punish home teams if any little thing goes wrong, if your fan misbehave, believe me, referees coming to officiate your game will come with full confidence. They will officiate whatsoever thing they want to officiate, knowing fully well that nothing will happen to them after the game. But then, if you are increasing the money to 1 billion, definitely people need to be alive to make that 1 billion. Clubs need to be alive to end that 1 billion. And now, before this money get to 1 billion, we see home team must win syndrome. We see people, fans, taking bottles and stones, you know, attacking opponents just because they want to win the previous 200 million and 250 million. Now that it has become 1 billion, I hope they will not bring AK-47 to the field. I hope they will not bring AK-47 to the field to kill, to injure people. So it's a very big concern, because in this part of Africa, we are still lacking behind. Now, if you check now from the salary aspect now, a whole lot of things need to be done. You are giving a club side in Nigeria now 42.5 million naira more, per year, you know, just a minimum, or let me say the money they are going to make, you know, from the beginning of the season. If you check the PSL standard 2.5 million rands every month. That is over 207 million naira in a month. So calculate PSL league team giving their club side 207 million naira over. I'm just using normal normal calculation. Now, 207 million naira to club side in South African Premier League every month. In a year, the money is amounting to over 2.5 billion. That is what PSL club side will be getting in a whole season. But in Nigeria, our own club side now will be getting 42.5 million naira in a year. So if you calculate 2.5 billion minus 42.5 million naira, you see the gap is too different. Now you are telling the club side that they must pay minimum 2 million naira to players. Yes, it's good for the welfare of the player, but I feel if we add more emphasis on security as well too, then let this club side to the any way they can, because this security aspect will enable sponsors, will enable some stadium management managers to be able to recoup a whole lot of money, because people coming to the stadium to watch games knowing fully well that their life is secure. So I feel, but then we should not have to be so hard on them. It's starting step by step. Increasing the money have become the first step, second step, third step for the second runners up. So now sponsors, now club side now can want to invest, because if you watch Remo Stars also, they are negotiating with the Ogun State government, because Remo Star want to sell part of their club side to the government, about 150 million US dollars to the state government. So they want to partner with them. Why? Because of the expenses in the league, because he can't cope with most of these expenses. After coping, then you come and win 200 million naira. When you win 200 million naira, then how much have you spent in those seasons? So now that the money has been increased to 1 billion naira, I hope maybe you will not sell the club if you can still have the full right. It's a very good one, honestly, but I think we still need to do more, because calling ourselves giant of Africa and then our league is not good enough. Our league cannot even hold on to second team players. Our league cannot even produce home based eagles that can go successfully to win a tournament. I think it's a very bad one. We can all see what the other African nations are doing, even as low as Tanzania, is even Kenya, and even Benin Republic. If players from Nigeria can prefer to leave Nigerian league, go to Benin Republic, go to Togo league, go to Somalia league, go to all these places league to go and play football just to make a living. Honestly speaking, it's so sad. So I think Nigeria need to wake up. Our billionaires need to, if it is charity, if it is by free will, if it is by, even if it's not by business, let them just do something and give back to the society. In South Africa, almost every club there that is owned by most of these billionaires, they do that not because they too much like football, not all of them like the football, but because they want to give back to the society, because some of them want to evade tax, because some of them won't believe that if I just own a club and buy a club in this community, let me just sponsor the club so that the club can help and recruit some young players around the community, and that is a very good one.
Okay, how about anything to chip in, because our time is up?
No, it's a good one. It's a lovely development, and I just hope that every modalities, and both the ones we didn't hear, everything they have planned, sat down on the round table to discuss. We just hope that it comes to fruition, so that we can as well go to the stadium to watch ball freely.
Okay. I would say congratulations to the NSC, congratulations to the NFF, and congratulations to the MPFL for the prize money increment. And I would urge them to work on officiating, work on security, stop home must win syndrome, and attract sponsorship. Thank you, and God bless you, as we call it a quit.